Bobby Moore and Sir Jeff Hurst, the Trevor Brooking and Billy Bonds, and Paolo Di Canio, West Ham United. We celebrate our victories, we stick together in defeat. We're proud of our history, West Ham United, more than just a podcast, more than just a podcast.
Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning. This is more than just a podcast. It is season 13. It is episode 2. And by the way, this is the 490th podcast we have recorded since August 2011. And if you listen to them all back to back, that is over 750 hours. It will take you 31 days without stopping, John. But do you know what? A listener wrote to us and said that's exactly what they're doing. They're listening.
Really?
There's a few missing, isn't there?
I think there's about 4 missing. The missing tapes, but apart from that, about 4 missing, including episode 1. The rest of them are there, John. 750 hours, 31 days of listening. And one of our listeners. But anyway, before I introduce everyone, we're an award-winning podcast.
No, we're not.
We're not an award-winning podcast. We've been recognised for Spotify as the premier West Ham podcast on Spotify last season. How's that? The most listened to, more hours of our podcast were listened to. We're
Spotify's favourite West Ham podcast.
And by the way, right, I'm not going to name them, but I check this. Every other West Ham podcast, they're all on Spotify, but we were more hours were listened to us than any other West Ham podcast. Now, you could say it's because our podcasts are 2 to 3 hours long, and we did do 61 episodes last season, probably more than any other West Ham podcast. But then that's.
No, that's not the graphic I've got, Sean.
All right, go on.
The graphics is top West Ham podcast.
Oh, there you go.
More than just a podcast.
Anyway, Canning Town Lem, what are you doing?
I'm in the lounge, already getting pissed off with you, to be frank.
Welcome back. We missed you last week.
I missed you.
Do you know what? The person who's on that series, season 7, said, I'm up to season 7. I've listened from the beginning as a sort of side note, and said, I can't wait for Canning Town Len to join. When did you join? What season? I can't remember.
It would have been 2019, I think.
Well.
No. It'd been
season
9.
Season 9. He's got 2 seasons to go. He's got another 60 episodes to go before you join.
He's binge listening.
I know. I mean, it won't
all
get
the
those
irrelevance
time back, will he? Anyway,
maybe when remember games and stuff like that.
I know. It's like Lost, watching Lost back, but doesn't take as much time. John boy,
hello.
Where are you? What are you doing?
I'm at home speaking to yous.
Good. No Georgie tonight, although he has promised. He's made a big promise and a commitment that when the season starts, everything's going to be different. And finally, Nigel, where are you? What are you doing?
I'm in my shed.
See, I was a bit faster that time. Good. The old gang are back in town. See, we're not a 1-episode summer. We've come back because there's more news. Transfer news.
Oh, no.
Yeah, there's loads of
doing
transfer
question
news.
time.
I don't know. We'll see how transfer news goes at the moment because we have got some breaking news. Edson Alvarez from Ajax is on the verge. In fact, he's in the air at the moment. He's flying from Amsterdam to London. He's going to have his medical in the next few days. Just had some information hot off the press from the senior source because he was slightly upset with what the Daily Mail had run to say we're paying him £148,000 a week. Untrue. We're paying him £100,000 a week. which is a nice step up from I think the 36 grand he earns in Holland. And the deal is 32 million transfer fee with 3 million extras. Don't know a lot about the guy. Nigel, do you know much about the guy? Except he's obviously a defensive midfielder.
And he Mexican.
And he's Mexico. Yes, he's just come back. In fact, he flew in from Mexico this morning.
So not the first Mexico or Mexican to play for us.
No.
No.
Chikorito.
Barrera holds that honour.
And Chikorito.
Star of the World Cup in 2010 and not so much of a star for West Ham. Of course, Chikorito was Mexican, a star of Man United and Real Madrid. Not so much of a star for West Ham. But don't let that worry you, people. This could be a good Mexican.
Yeah. Apparently he's fiery and he doesn't mind to get stuck in. He's just the kind of player the Premier League needs, I'm told.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to say he's just the type of player West Ham needs, but then again, we'll take anyone at the moment, won't we?
Well, saying that, things come in threes. We've put a double bid in for Scott McTominay and Harry Maguire for 60 million, 30 million apiece, in a take it or leave it offer.
You desperately want him to leave it, Sean.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay. John, how do you feel about Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay?
If we get Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay, it looks like if you add the Alvarez thing into it, maybe there's been some kind of compromise made at management level on where we were going with the transfers this summer. They are both decent players. They would both improve our team as we look at it now, I would think, in my opinion. Whereas Maguire, I think he's made it quite clear he doesn't really want to join, so I don't find it a bit weird they keep chasing him.
I'm told don't read everything. I was told
I guess so.
Everything into here go where he thinks he can play and improve his chances for England and etc.
But I did look it up. He did sign a new contract this June, wasn't it? He signed a new contract for 6 years, so
170 grand a week.
It was 189 according to one of the things I looked at.
According to an agent who told me 170. Now let's not
yeah,
worry.
Well, either way,
it's 170 or 189. It's a hell of a lot of money.
Look, I mean, they are both proven at the level that we play at, and they would improve our team.
Harry Maguire cost, of course, 80 million from Leicester City.
Leicester
City, yeah.
So, if we end up with Maguire, McTominay and Alvarez...
I think if those three come, though, I don't see James Ward-Prowse coming.
No, neither would I.
I don't see Souček getting dropped either.
No, I don't see Souček. I see Souček being made captain, actually.
Do you fucking really?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
We can see that coming. I mean, I guess the only thing we'd be talking about really is we're probably a striker light, and we don't want to be starting the season with relying on is it 18-year-old Mabama? You don't really want him.
He looked a bit light against Bayern Munich, Leverkusen.
You got to treat him and break them in sort of like gradually into the team. And
of course, the only reason we lost was because our plane was cancelled and they had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to fly to Germany, John.
Oh, right. Okay, that's good
to
know.
Did you not know that?
No, I didn't know that. But that's good. That's good to know. That's why we lost, because, the way we played football, we didn't look like we deserved to win it.
No, it was awful. Scamacca has obviously left today. Been announced by the club. Obviously, we've seen the pictures. He's been announced by Atalanta. The whole deal, if we get the add-ons, is 26.9 million. If we to believe we paid 30.9 million, that's only about 3 million quid. Which is, I don't think that's probably the best they could do.
Fucking hell, it's a miracle, I think.
Yeah, I'll just like I did say on Twitter, at least the losses are getting less, which is quite impressive. It's progression.
Of course, if you include immortalisation, we actually made a small profit
What?
because
Did you say
said that.
immortalisation?
Yeah, he said that to me this morning. Oh, what are you on about? Is he getting
he
closer
can't
to death?
die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
if we write off
Is
over
this
5
Twilight? Are we?
Yeah.
Are we like
if we write
What's he
off
talking about?
5 years, the money.
the wolves coming? Like,
Right.
or we got to wait for the vampires.
If you take his transfer fee,
It
you
just
divide it by
ignores it.
5. You've written off 6 million. That means we made a small profit of 3 million. Whoa, what a genius! What a genius! There you go. On paper, we make a profit of 3 million. Vlasic is days away from being sold. Not so good there. I think we bought him for 25 million euros. Of course, we haven't paid it all. It's been held in escrow because it's a Russian club. I think the final deal is either 11 or 12 million euros. So we're going to make a bigger loss there. But
Well done, Moisey.
you got to. I don't know. You got to cash your losses. You know, he doesn't want to play.
Who do we put that one down to then?
Moyes.
Really?
David Moyes chasing Lingard along and making a.
It was a bad.
Desperate signing.
On the outside, it looks like a Moyes who never then really fancied him and didn't want him back again. Yeah, I don't know. I would have given Vlasic another chance, but he obviously didn't want to. And then we got this bizarre situation with Aaron Cresswell, who hasn't been returned training on his own today, but hasn't been training with the first team squad. Didn't go out to Germany. Got told today by the senior source, confirmed he hasn't been training, confirmed that Wolves have now pulled out of the deal. I mean, the Wolves deal, I've been told, was £2.5 million in add-ons, so they wanted him for 3, but it was £2.5 million made up of add-ons on different clauses, but they didn't want to pay any money up front.
Well, they're in special measures, aren't they?
They are, yes, and this is why they wanted it in all add-ons. Which is bizarre now. They've been linked with Mikel Antonio today, that they're interested in Mikel Antonio. I don't know if they want that all on add-ons as well, but...
Well, are they interested in our players? I thought they had quite a good skating network on Europe.
I don't know, they're in a bit of trouble. I know, but they're in a bit of trouble, aren't they?
Don't buy out players we don't want. They ain't going to help them out.
Alan Dixon is saying that... or Nixon, not Dixon. Alan Nixon is saying he could go to...
Who's Alan Nixon, Sean?
He's a Sun journalist.
Is he?
He's a transfer guy. Nico, most people know him as. He's saying he could go to Nottingham Forest. Now, he bought a place in Merseyside last year. Is there any way back for Cressy, Nigel?
There's always a way back, especially a player like Aaron Cresswell, 9 years service, and it's a bit of a disappointment for me that he's done that, because I always had him down as a model professional, and I don't even think Dawson went this far.
Well, we don't know. We just know he didn't make himself available for training, right?
So
I'm not sure he went on strike, and people have put 2 and 2 together. But the club wouldn't confirm one way or another, which is bizarre.
Is he injured?
No,
the club saying he's injured. Right,
he's not injured.
So if he's not injured, and he's not turning up for training, there's only one thing you can.
Well, what happens if the manager said to him, without telling, you need to get your head straight? So
that's different. But then I would expect the club to turn around and say we've given him leave.
I agree. Yeah,
Well,
I'm trying to be kind to him.
Can he not go to a dinner then if his head ain't straight?
Yeah, he didn't go towards dinner.
Oh, there you
obviously.
go. He's on strike, Sean. That's the word you're looking for.
Well, I'm trying to be kind to him because unless I know, we know he's actually gone on strike.
How long has he got left on his contract?
A year.
Right.
He'd signed it actually quite some time ago, last year actually, but he extended his contract for another year, so till June next year, John.
Right.
And I'd like to think that a player of 9 years have been a servant wouldn't go on strike, but I'm struggling to find an alternative or explanation. Let's just say, but until I actually know, the manager didn't go, oh, well, you have some time off, Aaron, or whatever, I'd like to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
But I can tell you he's not injured, but he's not made himself available for whatever reason.
Right. There you go.
In the days of footballer, and he'll always be a bell end. I mean,
Who?
you look back,
Cresswell.
yeah. I mean, you look back on this when he's done. If he's like, oh dear.
Well, let's let him. I'd like him to come out and give his side of it. I mean, we all know what happened with Dawson, but hopefully Cresswell will explain what went on, and I hope there's an explanation. As you say, if he'd injured, or been given time off, you'd expect the club to talk about it, even brief journalists, but they're not. Or if he's got family issues, you'd expect someone to brief someone, but I don't know. It looks like Mikel Antonio ain't going to be allowed to leave. Whatever his move to Saudi Arabia fell through, and he ain't going to be able to leave elsewhere.
How long's he got left?
You don't know that though, do you?
He's got a year left as well, John.
Right.
So you mean to tell me between now and the season shutting at the end of the month, there ain't going to be someone who's going to have their striker bought and could come in for Antonio? You don't know that.
Yeah. What you're suggesting? We're going to get 2 strikers, are you?
No, I'm leaving our transfers out of this. But what I'm saying is, I mean, what am I trying to say? I think he'd let him leave anyway, wouldn't he, and get someone.
Well, he's worried about if a bid came in, I'm told, and they could find a replacement, he's worried about Antonio's consistency, which I said last.
We're worried about that.
Yeah, I know we are.
This is what I don't get, right? You either want to sell a player or you don't. If you're even entertaining offers, you want to sell him.
Yeah.
So there's no point. It looks really bad if you don't really want him, and then you start. It's like the Carlton Cole thing all over again. You start next season. Oh, hello, Antonio. Oh, yeah. You're playing. He must feel fucking great. Do you know what I mean? Knowing that he wanted to go, the club wanted to sell him, and this is what Krez was doing. You just, I don't know. This transfer business, just a bit too public, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Well, Antonio's the only person who can play for Moyes because he's the only striker that can feed off scraps.
I know that. That's why I want to sell him.
He's the only one who can feed off the scraps that Moyes allows him to have. So.
Now, I'm going to ask Len, has the rumour reached you that David Moyes is going to be sacked this week and they've got a replacement lined up tomorrow?
No, it ain't reached me yet.
No. It's been going around. Some journalists have been talking about it. WhatsApp groups online, and I must have had about 7 people, including Dodsey, tell me, it's the truth. It's been told by 6 people, so it must be true.
How does that kind of rumour happen then? I mean, if you're going to fire someone, you fire them. You don't tell everyone you're going to fire them tomorrow and fire them.
No, exactly.
What's special about tomorrow?
I don't know.
No,
just
we
for the
couldn't
record,
be that fucking lucky.
Just for the record, the senior source says we've got no plans to change the manager.
No, we know that, mate.
He will be in charge for Bournemouth.
Yeah, fucking as long as he can, he'll be in charge for.
And there's no one available anyway. You have to throw that in. And I had a little bet.
Lopetegui might be available soon.
I had a little bet today with Stell. And he said, I think he'll be gone by October. And I said, no, nothing will happen until December at the earliest.
So, why would you say that for?
Who?
You. Why would you say December the earliest? So what's Stell saying is he thinks we're going to have a bad start.
He said we're going to have a bad start. And I said they won't do anything till December, just before the... if they're going to do something, it will happen over the Christmas period, just before the new transfer window opens.
But this is what happens, though. We have a bad rate. It gives them a chance to get a couple of wins, and then suddenly it's, oh, no, we can't find anyone better. We'd be looking for a title player like this. Let's not talk about that in a minute. Don't.
Right.
It's fucking August. I'm hot enough as it is. Don't get me going.
Look, we might. The one thing that the seniors all said, right, just to add this last bit in, funny what you said is, don't judge him on a meaningless pre-season friendly, judge him on the league next
No,
weekend.
well, that's right. But the fact of the matter is, I've only seen about two pre-season friends, I think. On the last match, I'm judging him against fucking Steinberger's team, or whatever his name is. Steitman, or whatever.
Tim Steiden. Steiden.
What's his name?
Steiden. I
Steiten.
think.
Steiten.
Yeah.
That's how it could look. I mean, they don't have any more. Okay, they're probably a bit richer than us, but spending-wise on the budget, they're probably
They're funny enough because John asked this, so their squad is worth a lot more than us, right? When you
Right.
look at it at transfer market, their squad, young players, worth a lot more than us. I think
Right.
by about 100 million euros. But our wage bill is 3 times theirs.
Yeah, I bet. No one wants to play for us. You need to pay them triple.
Yeah.
But that's
anyway,
what it could look like.
He's
and
not going, and he'll be in charge for the Bournemouth game. I'm going to ask Nigel, but just to wind him up, is it a 6-pointer against Bournemouth, Nigel?
You're a prick, you know that.
I know, but that's what I wanted. That's the reaction I wanted from you.
Well, of course it ain't. You know, it's stupid is as stupid does, I suppose. Look,
Bournemouth are one of the teams that are tipped to go down, along with Luton Town, Sheffield United, and Everton.
I'm surprised at that, Sean, because judging by Saturday's reaction to West Ham fans, Bournemouth are going to be challenging for a Champions League spot.
We don't know what you still don't know what West Ham fans, do you?
Well, no, this is.
I don't get where this has come from. What you say?
Well, because apparently, if we play like we did against Leverkusen, Bournemouth are going to wipe the floor with us. Well, so Bournemouth must be like Leverkusen, who are a Champions League team.
No, Bournemouth haven't really done a lot either, have they? Over the
summer?
I didn't think you watched it, Nigel.
I didn't. I'm painting.
Yeah, well, you fuckers.
If you taken up
if you'd have seen
as well?
it,
Yeah, walls though, and,
right,
and woodwork.
okay. You finished the kitchen?
No, but I finished the living room and I've nearly finished the hallway.
Oh, nice.
So
how about the kitchen?
Can't have it all, can you, mate?
No, she can't have it all. So I'm working my way round the kitchen because of the fact it's dragged on for 2 years. She's actually decided she wants some other cupboards.
Yeah, might want to refresh the kitchen.
So I ain't fucking bothering to finish what I've done before I start the changes. No, I didn't watch the game. It's a pre-season game. I was a busy man, so I didn't see the need to down tools and put it on. To be frank,
You didn't miss
well.
much.
Yeah,
I tried to watch it, but there were so many adverts. I just got okay.
Oh, that was embarrassing.
It's just. It don't mean anything. I know I say it a lot and whatever. 85, 86, we lost every pre-season game. 2011, we won every pre-season, or 2010, with Abraham Grant, including beating Gladbach in Germany, who were no shit team either back then. So, they don't mean anything. It's good to get a defeat like that in pre-season, because it might actually kick them up the arse and wake them up. It might.
You said it. You can't do anything about happiness in the camp now. You can see that in pre-season.
Well, the only
They
thing
didn't look very happy around Moyes. Around Moyes, they didn't look very happy.
Look, I hear a lot about who's happy, unhappy, and I hear a lot from fucking people on the internet and everything. And frankly, nobody really knows, do they? I mean, at least awards do. Apparently Moyes and Steiden were best mates, like...
I don't know about best mates, but they were laughing and joking.
They're having the piss up. They're not at work. It's just when they're at work, it's a problem. I can have a laugh and chat. I've got fucking beer in my hand.
Listen, at work, there's a bloke at work, I won't give him the time of day. I've got nothing to say to him.
But you're going to piss with him, especially if he's buying.
No.
Apparently, and
I struggle to make him a cup of tea, to be honest.
This guy's on Twitter. He took a picture of him with Tim Steiden, and he said, just before I took this picture, he went over to Moyes and showed him a text message. He was probably showing him one of Nigel's articles on 6'2", and
Yeah, they laugh.
and they had a little.
I bet Nigel does
giggle.
lots of articles, doesn't he, on Seasn?
And
That must
I'm a
been-
YouTuber now, sorry.
Yeah, we know.
Sean, that
Famous.
must have been at the
Famous.
last dinner. That can't have been at this dinner if it was one of Nigel's uncles. That must have been pancake day.
so and a number of people who were at that dinner said to me, "We saw them interact." Now it could be a putting on an act, but it doesn't. The way the Daily Mail was making it out was, they were at fisticuffs or something, and one of them had to leave. So it's the problem with a vacuum of us being the only side not to sign a player, apart from Sean Moore, is it makes. What are you laughing at, John? It makes us
You're
easy
such
prey.
a bellend, you
What?
really are.
We did sign Sean Moore from Ireland, John. £170,000.
For the Youth Academy, yeah?
Sniff at that, you sniffer. Don't sniff at that. Let me ask, I meant to ask a question about your comment on adverts to Len, Mr. Advertising. 17,000 people watching the live stream.
You're talking to me now?
Yeah.
Right.
17,000 people watching the live stream on YouTube, including John and myself.
Yeah.
Adverts every 10 minutes. How much did they earn?
I'll say about 70, 80 quid, to be honest.
The annoying factor, I agree with John, was tremendous. In the game, it kept on adverting, just to wind up Nigel Moore. They just keep on running and running again, that Perth museum piece during half time.
Yeah, because it's the whole thing's a fucking wind-up. I've got it. I've understood it. I think the whole fucking thing's a wind-up myself. I've told Damage United as well.
So it's just
Don't
not.
go down
I agree with you. It's probably worth 100 quid of advertising. It just wasn't worth the annoying factor. And it just
I didn't understand it. That's why I asked the question. So it was a actual choice by
It's a
by
monetisation
West Ham
choice,
United
yeah.
to put a monetisation on the stream, which will make them around £100 in adverts. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I
Guess
said.
you needed cash, Sean.
That's why I said on Twitter again. Spend it wisely, eh? Unbelievable.
Anyway, that's I think that's our transfer business, isn't it?
Oh,
Unless
what-
they've missed
What would it?
anything.
What would it take?
Well, I'm surprised it took that long, Sean. We've still not really signed anyone, have we?
Well, we will by the weekend.
What will it take this season for Moyes to get an extension on his contract?
A miracle. I think
Top
he's
10
got to-
finish.
I think he's got to do better than that. I'd say he's got.
Nah.
I think he's got to qualify for Europe again.
No.
And I tell you, Nigel, there's one thing of them sacking their manager, but if we don't feel there's progression, they do love a contract to run out on a
Top
manager.
10 finish is progression.
Well, last season it is,
Well,
but
there you go then.
I think they would want a top 7 finish.
Oh, sure. They're fucking deluded then, aren't they?
Well, I think Steiden has been brought in to scout a new manager as well. All right, so my conspiracy theory with Alonso is probably
Well, that's gone up
incorrect.
the wall, isn't it?
Well, you can still buy a manager out of contract, but yeah, I
Why
can't.
is
We
that? Has
can't
he
buy a
just signed-
player, Sean. How are we going to buy a manager
Has
You're
he
not
just
wrong.
signed an extension? Has
He
he?
just signed an extension to
Yeah.
2026. Yeah.
this week?
So that's my conspiracy. I did have a conspiracy theory that the reason we hadn't heard of the director of football is he was busy finding a new manager to replace David Moyes next summer, but I've been told that's not true as well.
Well, I was told by I was at work today that Potter is in the background ready to join on Wednesday.
Potter,
Yeah.
he doesn't. Senior source doesn't rate Potter.
Harry.
Graham
Oh, right. Sorry.
doesn't rate him. Thinks he
More Brian, probably.
was out his depth, John, and flattered
He
by
knows a lot about football, doesn't he, Sullivan?
Who said Sullivan?
That's what you said.
No, I
He
didn't.
thinks
I said senior source.
Yeah. Well, it's only one
No
who
one knows who the
cares.
senior source is.
Yeah, but if you
Well, the
say
other
he
one's
doesn't
dead,
rate
Sean.
him, well,
It could be them. How do you know it wasn't Vanessa?
Vanessa
ain't
who?
gonna-
Vanessa
She-
Gold, our
She
new
doesn't,
joint.
she doesn't even know who he fucking
Yeah.
is.
She ain't going to dirty her shoes on you, Sean.
I do. I have met Vanessa.
Could
She
be Brady.
Vanessa follows me on
No, she only uses Sean when she needs him. Otherwise, she puts him back in the box.
Who?
Under. I won't say what under, but
Who?
anyway. You.
Look, every time Hammers News run it, they say full confident of David Sullivan and Karen Brady, don't they?
What they call you that?
Yeah, full
Yeah,
confident.
but we know the truth, innit? Brady uses you like some puppet. She just pulls you out of a box when she needs you and puts you back in the box.
Apparently, we just had the McTominay bid rejected, Sean.
You were ahead of me because it was only placed this evening, but
Well,
you might be.
It wasn't a great bid, was it?
Who broke that? Was it
Didn't be much thinking about.
Was it Darmish? Was it Darmish? Did he break it?
1 second. I've just lost it. Sorry.
You sure it's not Steinberg?
Steinberg said about the double, and then someone from, I think it's the Mirror, said it's been turned down. Hang on, I'll be with you a moment.
What's
his name?
Samuel Luckhurst, who is...
Don't know him.
Chief Manchester United writer for the Manchester Evening News. Not a bad source.
Don't know him.
No, he works in the Manchester Evening News and is the chief Manchester United writer.
He might know his stuff. I will make my own inquiries.
See if he's following.
To see. I thought 60 million is quite fair. I'm not sure anyone else is in for them.
He bid 60 million because he doesn't want them. Sullivan.
You think they're worth more than that?
I don't know. I don't actually know.
Yeah, oh, come on.
Well, I do, but I don't want to pay more for them because I don't want to go that direction. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'd have either, to be fair. I think
you know what?
Maguire's got an unfair...
If we landed the pair of them, I think it'd be fucking great business, to be honest.
Yeah.
It would make
But
our
that's
team
why
better.
I don't think we get them.
Just seen the Gianluca Scamacca farewell
It's
message.
coming out again. McTominay bid rejected. Understand offers weren't a joint bid for McTominay and Harry Maguire. Possible West Ham could make another bid from Maguire. Now that's not a good scenario, if you ask me.
Anyway, I see someone did put a question up, so
Have you seen the Scamacca farewell message?
I haven't yet. What does it say?
Dear West Ham,
Ciao.
while my time in London didn't go the way I had planned, some of my greatest life moments were made here. And for that, I'm forever grateful. Thank you to the players and the staff for making me feel so welcome and the fans for their continued support. I will continue to support this fantastic club from home in Italy and will be keeping in close touch with the lifelong friends I have made whilst in England. Thanks for everything. Ciao, Gianluca.
My only concern is, I mean, the writing was on the wall for most of us when he changed agents. Just worries me that Paquetá changed agents as well. And although he came out to say he's happy, or his PR came out to say he's happy, I remain nervous on Mr. Paquetá.
Nervous, Sean?
Nervous.
But it'd be a bit of a...
You've been listening to your mate too much.
I know, but
for him to go this late on.
No,
now,
I don't think he will go. But I just remain nervous that agents, like to make money.
Yeah, they love to make money. They like to
spin a yarn,
yeah, tittle tattle, and
tell
you things that actually aren't true. Sean.
Yeah, I know that.
Well, who signed Scamacca? Do you reckon? Who's
Silky did.
It took them, God knows how long to identify. Remember that January we were desperate for a striker. We didn't have a striker after he got rid of Heller, did we? And then he converted Antonio, but we were close. We were challenging for fourth and fifth, and we needed someone, but they said we're going to wait for the right one. And then we got Scamacca.
I thought it was a Moyes signing. I don't
who
think
chose
Sullivan
him?
Signing.
Who made that decision? And whoever it was.
He was scattered for a long time, actually, John.
By who?
By Moyes, wasn't
he? Yeah.
That's what he said when he bought him. He said he'd been looking at him for a long time.
I just find the whole thing bizarre. It's just bizarre, and I can't understand how someone like Sullivan, being the bell end as much as he is all about the money, how he can just continue to write off these amounts of money on these players and not hold anyone responsible. It's bizarre. I don't get it.
Well,
Well,
ultimately,
let's see how true to take it or leave it final offer really is with McTominay or Maguire. Then.
I'm not sure. I believe the James Ward-Prowse. It's just they're trying to play him a game so they don't get their pants.
No, but you're quick enough to repeat it, though, wouldn't you?
Well, of course, and everybody does, but. It's an entertainment business. This whole
fucking
I've
hell,
said
is
this
it?
before. It is an entertainment business.
Fuck me.
I mean, there are so many different stories. I started it
Sack
today.
the fucking script writer, then, will you? For Christ's sake.
148 grand a week was what the Mail was saying. I mean, journalists don't go deliberately to make this stuff up.
Well, who's told him that then?
Well, either an agent or someone in the club or an intermediary. Who knows? But.
So if it's not true, all that's going to is feed Discord, isn't it? What's Paqueta on? Do you know? What sort of money
I
he's on?
think he's on over 100.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know exactly, but
Anyway, we're done with transfer.
anyway, yeah, it's time for this.
Can I hold up?
Oh,
No, hold
this
up.
better be good.
No, it is. I just want to say to people, I get it. People like Maguire and McTominay, you may not be. There's such a tribalism now, more than any before with clubs and in regards to the way opposition players. But if Dawson's signing didn't teach people anything, that please don't judge them.
Dawson weren't fucking 30 odd million.
No, but
Nigel, it was 2 million.
Hold up, but the fact that
fine.
people want to sit on social media and slag these players up the way heaven, because it just may happen that they may pull on a West Ham shirt. And
If they do, I'll be 100% by it.
I don't think it will.
So it's okay to fucking slag them off and call them every name under the sun and go, no, fucking these players are shit and everything.
Who says that? I haven't said
Oh,
that.
mate, you go across social media. I'm talking
Well, don't
about...
go on it then.
Well, I try not to
Oh,
be
right.
fair. But
Do
I have
question
to
time,
put
Sean.
questions, yeah.
I
have to,
I just think everyone's fed up with old Allardyce Light over here, just like
but
doing
what's
what
your mouth out with sober
No,
water?
he is. There'll be
He is.
of
I
it
know
now.
you're
is.
just trying to trigger me. He's
He
not
is.
fucking Allardyce
I know.
Light. I'm telling you now. He's not in that bracket. He's not. It's not great.
I
I'm not
think
just
it's fucking worse.
No, it ain't worse. How can
It
it be
is.
worse? We won a fucking trophy.
Yeah, and Declan Rice.
We had our best ever
Declan
point
Rice has
tally
won
in the Premier
Community
League with it.
Shield,
We
and if
scored
you
more
listen to
goals that
Arsenal
season with it.
fans, it's a far bigger achievement of winning the Charity Shield.
I
than
don't give a
winning the
fucking shit.
European-
I'm
don't
just
care
calling
what
it.
Arsenal
I'm
and
just
Rice
calling
do.
it. I'm just calling it is. It's fucking boring.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
And I want to change.
All right.
And
I'm
we
a
will
human
see-
being. Things
we will
bore you.
see.
You don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, and it is boring. It is
Yeah.
it's rubbish to watch.
Anyway, let's
It'd
move
be
on because
nice
we're
to
an
have
award-winning podcast.
No, we're not. We're a popular podcast.
We're popular. We're the popular people.
We're the people's podcast.
The popular people.
There you go. There it is. The new tagline.
We
the
did win
People's
a Lenny.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did win, Lenny.
We did once. Yeah.
Anyway, time for this. Yeah. It's Facebook question time. Where
Oh, it's
you-
good to be back, isn't it?
You, the 50,000 Spotify listeners, get to talk to us, the four presenters. We've got 50,000.
50,000.
50,000.
Go with it, Sean.
What have
Nice.
Wrexham got then?
Nice, just go with it.
Do you notice when I wrote the story, I didn't mention the Wrexham got
Oh,
more
right.
downloads than West Ham's Pecos. We were 16th, weren't we?
Well, it's not relegation, is it?
But we still got better than any other West Ham, including.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to mention.
No,
I'm
all
not
of
gonna
them.
mention
You can include all you fucking like.
Yeah.
We're fucking dreadful.
We're
God knows
massive.
what they must
No,
fucking
no,
think of that fucking
we're
lot.
massive. We're massive, and it's free. It's still free. Anyway,
dear.
Well, one of us is massive, Sean.
yeah, shit.
And the other one is a YouTube celebrity.
Well, here we go.
It's got to be done.
Well, it has, isn't it? You know?
Please don't.
Good,
So
good.
we're gonna
Did
do
you
a
watch
quick-
the show last night? Anyone watch the show last night on Claret and Booze?
No.
I did.
You know.
Was it a good one?
What did you think?
Well, to be honest,
That's what I love about you.
Here we go.
no, I saw it was on, but I didn't know it was a live broadcast because I knew it was coming on because you told me and you showed me the first half.
Yeah.
And then I turned it on. I thought, oh fuck, I've missed the first half an hour. But you'd already shown me that anyway, so I was just a bit discombobulated. I would have liked to see it fresh. So don't show me the stuff at Upton Park. I want to see it now. I know where it's going to come.
Yeah. Did you like the way it was done though? It was.
Yeah. Well, what you mean? Nick was holding the phone.
Yeah.
That bit, or
Yeah, that bit.
yeah. How else can you do it these days?
I was thinking.
At least you fucking done it, mate, because no one else gives a fucking shit.
No, yeah. That's
So
true.
I mean,
It's
you
been
learn a
well
lot.
actually.
That's what it's all about.
Nigel, you're going to put it up on 6'2".
I will do. Yeah, it's been well received. To be fair.
Well, it should be.
So
What was it then? What was it?
Well, it was the history tour. So I took.
Oh,
as
the
I said,
tour video you.
I took 3 YouTubers round a year ago to make a film of the history tour.
Yeah.
And they we'll call it they lost it. So I like to call it the lost tapes. And then it got found on an hard drive, and I said, "Giss it here, I'll do it," and I've done it. So that's part 1. Part 2, which is so part 1 was we start at Trinity Boy Wharf, Thames Ironworks, around that area, go to Canning Town Station, up the Barking Road, round into Hermit Road, round into Memorials. So we cover the West Ham history up to like 1904. And the next part is we'll go round, look around Upton Park, and which will be the tough bit for a lot of people, not for me because I'm there all the time, like some madman. We'll walk round and
Like
walk
some
round
madman.
like some madman, yeah. Because it don't bother me. It didn't know. You get these people go, I've never been back. You know, I can't face it. And I'm thinking, well, I drive past it.
I have seen some. That stuff he told about that Arnold Hills, the old he'd been a Christian and all this stuff about his.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Well,
It's good.
I always
stuff.
find it funny that when West Ham moved to the stadium and you know, the Arnold Hills Lounge, fantastic, you know, where you can wine and dine and eat the finest steak and drink the best wine. And his grandson or his great-grandson came out.
Wasn't
Yeah, come out and said, my granddad would have been so proud to see this club honouring him in this way. And even I thought, really? This is the bloke that insisted that it written into footballers' contracts was the fact they couldn't drink.
Yeah.
And you're going to sit and drink alcohol in his lounge when he insisted his players couldn't drink? Oh, but not only that is, he was the head of the London Vegetarian Society, was mates with Mahatma Gandhi.
That's right.
By being a vegetarian, and you're serving, you know, murderous meat.
How are we getting on? We usually digress during question time, not even before
Well,
we
this
started
is,
it.
you know, this is a question was asked by John. I'm answering it.
Okay.
So therefore, you know,
Can I ask you a history question?
you can.
When you're going to come back
Well,
and write for 6'2"?
When the season starts.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh dear.
So,
Right, I feel we've got to play this again, really.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
so long.
really.
Just one thing to add. When we publicised our award-winning Spotify,
No, it's not an award.
all right, our
Most popular West Ham
recognition,
podcast.
recognition.
People's
People said
choice.
2 reasons people like the podcast. One, it's the only podcast where we ask, "Have you watched the game?" And some people say no. Every other podcast apparently takes it as read that they've watched the game. The second thing is that, and I assume this is about me, that sometimes the host leaves the podcast and you don't know if he's coming back or not.
Brilliant.
See, so it's that quirkiness that is the reason people love us. Anyway, Nigel.
oh, you played the theme tune.
professionalism.
Why? So it's Facebook, Twitter question time, where you, the listeners, get the chance to ask us questions, or give us your views. And to celebrate our achievement of getting the most listeners that listen on Spotify for a West Ham United podcast, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people. Oh, come along and leave a thing, which is well, you know, this is what happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here we go. So we'll start off with all comments. No, we'll go with the newest first. Mark Hunter. Ooh, I wonder if that's Mark Hunter who works for Honeywell. He says, good evening. He says, normal service resumed at our club. He's got a question for Nigel, as I know he's into the cricket. As I watched the test at Old Trafford, I love the temporary stand that has 8,500 fans, very exactly. He said, I think I would rather have 6 to 8 of them at the bowl. I'd even be prepared to get wet. Everyone out.
Everyone out.
So
Good start.
He's got a question for me, but he didn't ask a question. So what do I think? Well, the only way, actually, you could do it. Chrissy Mills actually has put up a picture of how you could do it. So you could build single tier stands out of scaffolding. The only thing with those stands, they would have to be permanent. So it would mean, realistically, you couldn't move them for, say, athletics. So while it's doable, I would deem the fact it would seem stupid that we'd be playing in an athletic stadium that don't host athletics. For me, the only answer is to move out. I don't know about what you lot think.
Well, they played for the first... played. It's not a word. But that they had the athletic the first time in 4 years last week, didn't they?
Mm. How was the crowd? Did it turn up?
Do you know what? It's a good question. I know some people then, they sent me pictures, but it didn't. It obviously wasn't sold out. So I will look at what the attendance is. But isn't there talk? Obviously, we're going to do the Commonwealth Games, and then apparently we might do the Commonwealth Games again in Birmingham because the other people doing the Commonwealth Games have now pulled out. It's too expensive.
Yeah, and the 2030 Commonwealth Games are under trouble as well. So nobody wants to bid for it.
Well, that's it. So we might, you could see that that will give a really good reason for them to move to Birmingham. But the other story is, of course, your friend.
Nigel, you got a friend?
Oh, well, his namesake.
Oh, thanks.
Sadiq Khan, spelt differently, obviously, has just ploughed money into Crystal Palace. So you've got another option there that Crystal Palace...
Has he really?
He has, yeah.
Why would he do that?
Yeah.
Well, to get votes for his election, I would imagine.
Ules is not going to be a vote winner.
Ules is not going to be a vote winner, no. I'd be surprised if he gets in. But no, he's put £10 million in as the next stage to rebuild the dilapidated Crystal Palace. So I think it will happen.
Of course.
What were they waiting for,
If they'd have gone down the Tottenham model, they could have had a redeveloped Crystal Palace.
Well,
already.
Of course, Tottenham won and Wembley are part of the Euros for 2020, whatever it is.
As our UEFA Category 4 club are very quiet over this. I noticed, Sean. It's a bit of a strange thing. No one seems to pick them up because they made such a big thing of this before we got moved.
Dropped.
No, before we moved.
European Category 4 stadium.
Yeah, we're going to host. It's going to be capable of hosting top European.
Though, isn't it?
A Champions League final.
But hang on, it is the right category. It just doesn't get chosen.
Why would that?
Why would that be?
Because they prefer proper.
Why would they rather hold a final in a 20,000-seater stadium in Prague than in a 60,000-seater stadium in London?
Oh, I don't know. Politics.
Oh, right. Yeah, that'll be it. That'll be it. Not fit for purpose.
Nah.
But anyway, thanks a lot, Mark, for your question. And next up, it's Super Chrissy Mills. Evening, gents, says Super Chris. good to see this post. Good to see you again, Chris.
Yeah.
Last time I see you was on the TV, of course.
He's been getting it from African Arsenal fans as Chrissy Mills.
I bet he has.
Grimo!
In your opinion, since the win in Prague, which was the last time I see you on TV, Chris, the greatest night of my life, he says. This is good. Now listen to all three. What has been worse? So the three choices are A, the Arsenal online fans, cry more. B, Sean's clickbait posts. Or C, West Ham's transfer policy. Secondly, as Sean finally turned on Sullivan, I can't work out his posts recently. Brady out, Sullivan out, Moyes out. Get them all out!
All out. Everyone out. Brady out,
So,
Sullivan out, Moyes out.
John, A, B or C? Arsenal, Sean or West Ham's transfer policy?
Sean.
Sean, definitely.
What?
I don't think that, Sean. Only the fact
We've been in some.
only the fact that
Not you
Arsenal
would
fans
know,
have been
but
worse.
One story yesterday, it's 7,000 on its own. One story, Nigel. We're going places, man.
I'm pleased for you.
It's your website.
No, I
Yeah.
know. Well, I think more of it as a joint venture now, Sean.
I don't think fucking Sean does. You put your fucking work in if you do.
I've seen some people demanding that you take back the password.
Yeah,
Well,
only a
yes.
couple.
I know, it's only
Because
it's only
Nigel,
a
could you
few.
please take the password off
Why
of Sean
can
with
you
your
take away
website?
the admin?
But the thing I would say to those people is that when I wrote history articles, which I promise people I'm back once the football season starts writing, but when I would write those articles, I would probably get 30% of what Sean gets. So Sean would write some bollocks about a transfer, 150 words. I'd write 750 words, and 5 times as many people would read Sean's bollocks, so 150 words, and would read my 750
Yeah,
words.
that's how it is, I'm afraid.
Now, and it's a lesson of what people read on websites.
Yeah.
So while the people on Twitter, 30,
X.
40, 50 complain, it still gets dwarfed by Sean's 7,000 people
On
that
one
read.
story.
What was the story, Sean? Please.
It was two. Do you know what? It was an innocuous story about two hammers. Fate is sealed, and it was a story about that Skamaka and Cresswell were not the awards dinner. They hadn't flown to Germany, and that they were on their way out, and that got 7,000 people reading it. And there's been a lot of 3,000 or 4,000 stories as well because transfer news sells and people are just.
No, it
People like
does.
that shit, nice.
If you're on YouTube and you put the word transfer in your show, you're going to get another 4,000 or 5,000 views.
And it's a content machine. So 6'2" and myself are named on every, Hammers News, West Ham Zone, Talk. Everybody names us as a source because, of course, they don't get their own stories. It's like a feeding frenzy, and it's not just me, whoever mentions it. And every, like this double bid tonight, everyone then feeding frenzy off it and then it trickles down to the YouTubers and they do their bit and talk about it to death, and then it just goes in this big circle. It's just what happens.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it'll be over in September.
No, that's good. Talking to YouTubers, congratulations to Carrot and Booze. 7,000 subscribers.
Yeah, right.
We've hit that mark. Double quick, in my opinion. 18 months, not bad,
Yeah,
not bad.
well. When Moyes goes, they're going to struggle for things to talk about.
Well, that's what I spoke to Nick the other day. I do speak to Nick occasionally.
Oh, I know you do.
Yeah. How did you know that? And he said, "What do I do if Moyes ever leaves? I've built my whole career on Moyes out." He said, "What do I do?" He said, "I have to retire."
No,
I'm sure he'd
move
just
on
like
to
the
the
other
next
guy.
manager, innit?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway,
Moyes out.
Moyes up.
Moyes out.
Moyes out.
Next up.
Sean, did you just say Moyes out?
Yeah, I have got. I've had my. I'm well done to him for getting us the cup. I've had my fill of him. Really have. I've had
Really?
my fill. Yeah. And I just think, look, he's not going to go, so I've accepted he's going to be here to at least Christmas. But I just feel he's obstructive. He's
I think he's. I don't see that as a thing. I don't think he is obstructive. I think he's defending his corner as he sees it.
Stubborn then.
Yeah,
All right, let's call him stubborn.
He's an old-fashioned manager.
He's stubborn.
And his way of managing has probably,
Past.
passed.
Yeah.
Football's done with him.
And this is possibly his last big gig. He's got a trophy now to his name,
Yes.
which we'll be eternally grateful. The way I see it for me is that this is his last season with West Ham. I don't see him achieving. I don't even see him achieving enough. We'll do predictions for the season maybe at the end. I don't see him achieving enough to keep him in a job. Plus, also, I think the team needs breaking up. It was old, and he kept replacing them with old players, not bringing in younger players. And I think now that we've won a trophy, we need to tear up this team in a way that really we don't want Moyes to do it. And I think that's proved out, actually, with the likes of, while I've just said, if you look at the players that Moyes are rumoured to be looking at, then again, they're not the type of players that you think are long-term signings.
You can't blame him.
I haven't seen sure.
You can't blame him, though, can you? He's short-term.
When you've got 1 year contract,
you can't blame him.
The thing is, he knows he probably does need a top 8 finish to keep his job. So he's gonna go and try and get tried and tested Premier League players that by hook or by crook may, in his mind, be able to get that.
Yeah.
But he'll do it by using, players like Souček, that are not going to get him now. Souček's a bottom half Premier League player. And that's what he is. I like him. I like his effort and everything else. But ability-wise, he don't cut it, does he? No. He was protected a lot by Declan Rice last year.
Yeah.
But, if he's picked, he'll get my support.
Of course.
The Reverend Jonathan Lowe, dearly beloved, he says, I hope you've all had a good summer and are ready for another proper West Ham season.
Yeah.
I've been reflecting on all the transfer aggro and meltdowns from fans, this is doing the finger things, on anti-social media. That's usual, anti-social media. Do you enjoy all the transfer speculation?
No.
Or would you, like me, prefer to go back to the days when the first we knew was when the official announcement was made?
Yes.
See you all soon. Blessings from Jonathan.
Blessings, Jonathan.
So
I agree, but people like Sean like the hits, and that's what we got here.
Yeah. John, did you give her monkeys?
No. I've come along with you a bit with all that. It is frustrating.
Yeah,
let's go back to CFAX, yeah?
No, it ain't.
No, the thing is,
because I didn't read CFAX.
No, all this stuff has happened all the time. But
no, you rang the line, didn't you? The premium line.
No, never rang Club Call.
Club Call, that's it.
No, never rang it. Why would you ring it?
Do you know? Didn't Sullivan own part of the mobile business, premium business?
He did have a mobile phone premium
that ran Club Call or something like that.
I don't know about Club Call.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. Oh, regressing there, John, was we? He reminds me. So I used to do locks for Sullivan's business. I was in a factory at Barking. They'd been raided by a gang, and it was the Dirty Bookshop factory in Barking, and they had all the dildos out the back in the warehouse and whatever. So God knows. So we were having to put some anti-false bars, and we had these special metal bars that ran the door and ran the frame. So what they used to do is they would tie like a car to the fire exit doors and actually pull the doors off the hinges, and these bars were made to stop that from happening. And we was working in this room, and it had all shelving and these like little tape recorders on the shelving. And what happened is we was working here, it was late, it was like 5 o'clock, and it must have been they kicked the phones over, and all suddenly, like, you could hear this ringing noise, and all these machines, these were like picking up messages from phones, and it was people that were ringing up, ordering dirty books and magazines out of the Sunday or the Daily Sport. So all the adverts in the Sport were obviously Sullivan's. And they go, "Hey, yes, hello, I'd like to buy Vivacious Vixens on VHS." And they would have to leave their name, address and credit card details. And me and my mate are just standing looking at each other, and we were pissing ourselves laughing. It was hilarious. I think we was in there about half hour. It was funny. It's just all these weirdo pervos ordering like the dirty books. And, you know, it makes you cringe a bit. So he made his money, because you think he owned the phone numbers that they were ringing, so he was coining it in now. He owned the newspaper that they bought, and then he'd put his own adverts in the newspaper. So he was winning 3 ways, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Clever.
Oh, you can
Perhaps
run porn.
Not people were doing
Well,
it.
perhaps we should put him in charge of the phones at the ground that no one seems to answer. But anyway, next up, it's the soul singing superstar of Tenerife. It's Mr. Michael Levy Jr. Evening, gents. He says different channel.
Evening, Mike.
Different channel, I realise. Forgive me. He says, but that real history of West Ham video I did with the Claret and Booze boys was brilliant, inspirational. You're a credit to our club and us fellow towners. Thanks all. Best wishes, though, to the whole crew. That's you lot as well, boys. All the best.
Oh, the backup band.
Yeah. Yes, well done. Thank you, Mike. I'm glad you
Cheers,
enjoyed
Mike.
it. Someone did ask why, Len, I don't know if you watched it, why the club why the club have not ever utilised my talents.
Oh, can I drop my first C-bomb of the series? Or
Someone did, actually, because I did drop the C bombs. Thought it was fantastic that it was like you was there. Yeah. Of course, I eulogised about the Tottenham supporting media.
oh,
Man.
you did. It's coming back to me now. Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. By the way, right, I listened back to the podcast, and you talking about Sean was saying about it doesn't really matter if he's a Spurs fan doing that, and I kind of agree with Sean. By the way, I'm not arguing with him, but it's a funny thing that people see the media team, and especially what people post on the social media from the club. They seem to see that as a service for the fans. And it's not. It's a tool for the dickheads at the club. Like, I get a lot of people saying, why don't that they should, push my paintings and stuff on the media channel with the club. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, it's not our space. It's what they use as a tool. And personally, I wouldn't want to work with a media team there anyway, because the reason why I do the paintings is so I don't have to work with people like that, really. But it's strange that the people who see the Twitter accounts and think it's like the fans think it should be for them. Now, if it was for them, then it should be a West Ham fan doing it. But the fact that it's not for us and it's at all for them, that's why, in my opinion, it's a Spurs fan. And no one said that last week. And I just thought that was a strange sort of perspective
I've not thought of it like that.
Do you not?
Yeah,
do you feel of it as like it's your space as a fan?
No. If it was for the fans, it wouldn't need to be sponsored by whoever, some cheap no mark.
Do you think it should be for the fans?
Yeah.
I probably think it should be for the fans.
But for me, if it was fan content, if it was fan content for the fans, see, the way I see it is that they use it as a tool to try and grow the fan base in it. Yeah, and they want to capture basically more non-fans.
Yeah.
in the hope that they can turn them into fans.
Which is really stupid.
Well, exactly right. It's really stupid because it don't work like that.
Nah.
But that's where they are naive, in my opinion. Where actually they've got more chance of doing that if they actually made proper fan content.
It's really not popular. Their YouTube channel's really unpopular.
Well, it's shit. But I mean, I could
because
go
they're not
back,
doing it for the right reason.
when I first met Rob.
We talking? What YouTube channel are we talking about?
West Ham United.
West Ham's.
Oh right, okay.
I mean, Sean, you
It's really
go back
bad.
to the SAB days. We were on it together, weren't we? When we was on the media. Do you remember they had the media focus
Media group? Yeah,
which was brilliant. It was like 10 of us.
yeah.
And I ended up sitting next to Rob. Well, probably my first dealing with him. And for me, I was thinking, if you're looking at a fan like a football club channel, why isn't it more like MUTV, like Liverpool TV, where they had the discussion shows, where they would have fans mixing with ex-players having discussions. So, and they would have old highlights of games. And I never understood that. But then it came out, which was quite funny. You remember Tara come out with a classic, well, we don't own the rights. And I went, I've got loads of videos I can lend you if you're struggling.
No, but on YouTube, they are allowed it because
Premier League they are, yeah. But obviously the rights were owned. I think in the old match of the day, big match stuff. The big match stuff. I think is it Talkback TV or something like that.
No, it's not,
or was it the one that began with a V? Vision
it's
Sports or
Viacom,
something like that?
not Viacom. Yeah, it's Viacom.
Yeah, so it was them. They own the rights to that. So,
But they have got. If West Ham, I know a lot about it from what I used to do for a living, but they have got implied license on it. So West Ham could play it with the implied license of look, this is our club, so we can use it, and that will be covered under the Millennial Copyright Act on YouTube. So it is a good that all that what you said is actually doable. Tara just don't know what she's talking about. So, which is why someone phoned Tara and said, "Why don't you get me there after I left Sarchi's?" And she pretended it didn't happen. But there you go. Things move on.
no, but that's like when I applied for to be a fan, work on the supporter liaison team.
What would that entail?
Well, this is just post move, so it would be basically like what Jake did. I think it was before they recruited Jake. Where did they recruit Jake from again, Sean?
Tottenham.
Oh, that'll be it. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. So and it was like to
And he's a
head up
Tottenham fan.
to head up
Nice
part,
guy, Jake.
Yeah, lovely guy. Head up part of that team. So I thought I'd apply for it, and I didn't have. I thought I had the best qualification, or two of the best qualifications. One, I'd manage people. Two, I was a West Ham fan, so I understood the fan base. But apparently they weren't even worthy of anything. And I pointed that out to Tara, and she was like, "Oh, I didn't see the application." I went, "Well, I'll send it
she
to you
don't
again."
see a lot. Yeah,
No,
she didn't see the emails coming about me either.
But there you go. Perhaps I
Come
was
on,
tainted by the
stop
people I hung
picking
about
on
with.
Tara. She's Sean's favourite.
Oh, we've fallen out.
Oh, we've-
Fucking tell you what,
Yeah.
full ass.
Yeah, all right, Sean.
We have.
Anyway,
We have.
yeah, no, that's fine.
We have. No, seriously.
This week.
Mm.
Oh,
No,
what did
we
you
haven't
say?
spoken for.
What did
Haven't
you say?
spoken for over a month.
Oh, why is that?
Over a
I can't
month.
really go into it.
I don't remember the Tara
legal
Out
reasons.
campaign getting off the ground, really, Sean.
No,
So,
I know for legal reasons we can't discuss it.
for legal reasons.
Yeah,
I think we should push you more now.
no,
What legal reasons could there be that
can't discuss it.
you and the catering manager?
Can't discuss it.
All right. Are you sure now?
Yeah, I'm absolutely 100% sure.
All right, people, don't worry, we'll do it off here. Neil Edwards, he said in the Eagle, he says, "Evening, gents. Is it just me who's completely fed up with ITKs and transfer rumours?
No.
Bit of a theme coming through." He said, includes you these days, Sean.
Who?
He said, if you're listening, Neil Edwards said it includes you. He's fed up with people like you. I'm
Okay,
personally
fair
only interested in who we officially sign and officially sell, as everything else is completely irrelevant,
Of course it is.
as it's all would have, could have, should have. Plus,
You can
it
only
can
read
drive
the West Ham site, all right?
people mad with all the constant maybe and might happen stories and the disappointments of failed bids. Just because certain fans want to know every rumour around the club don't necessarily mean that they should know it, Sean.
No,
Especially
it's all right.
given the negative effect it can have on the more abusive end of the fan base,
Yeah.
which can then in turn create a negative atmosphere around the whole club, like there feels to be at the moment. Don't be part of the problem, basically. Why can't we all just judge our window in September and also see how the first games go? There's a novel idea. Just wondered what you chaps thought about the transfer silly season. Cheers and Brady out!
Brady out.
Brady out.
We think the same as you.
Tara out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, I think there was such a lot of noise made last season about how our players were brought in too late and we didn't settle and they were having trouble getting into the games, and I think a lot of people wanted to see a bit more action earlier, so we got a bit of pre-season with new signings and a settled team. And there was so much positivity after the cup win, and it's typical West Ham to blow all that positivity and do what they've done. So I think I can understand it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, do you want to like have a minute for rebuttal?
Why?
Well, because I think he's sort of criticising people like you.
Well, do you know what? If you don't like it, don't follow me. Don't read the news article, as I just said, right? It's possible to avoid it. Ask Len, right? Don't go on social media. Don't follow the people that come out with these rumours. Don't read the
You don't have
columns
to
and the
follow them now.
journalists, right? And just read. If you really, really, truly want to do what you say, just read. Don't read papers in silly season. Just go to West Ham's official website, and then you will know when they announce them. You won't know anything. And what a refreshing surprise. But you know what? People say they don't, what they only want to know when we sign people, but they don't really. There's that temptation there.
Sean, I do.
Well,
I do, I
then don't
what?
read the articles.
Don't what? Sean, I don't know if it tells you. Go and have a look at the last time I logged in.
Pancake day.
Because I've not read anything in weeks.
There you go. Well done. See, you've got a choice.
I
It's
stopped
democracy.
watching. I even stopped watching the YouTube.
I don't watch any YouTube, as you know.
Yeah. So not obviously, I dip in with the Booze Boys, but that's about it.
But you know what? And I absolutely it's fine. Some people, it's just not for them. In this mad thing, they can't take it. Fine,
It's not they can't take it, Sean. I just think that they realise it's a load of bollocks.
Well, that's fine. And do you know what? If people are full of opinions, the only people I block
destructive,
is when
though.
people get aggressive or
Because
personally
it's
threatening.
It is destructive. It is. When you think about
I
it.
get it. The only thing I would say, Sean, we've had this conversation before.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not what you write; it's the way you write it. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
your journalistic education, to coin a phrase, came from someone who worked in what we would call the gutter press. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've been trained to over sensationalise news. So you will take something that's a bit mundane and boring and
But
dress it up.
Like General Kredinsky investing $3.5 billion
Yes.
in a shopping
You
spree in
loved your
France.
Yeah.
Kretinsky ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he'll come out with another article saying Kretinsky is just a silent partner who just likes an investment.
Yeah.
And then Kretinsky battles for power. Kretinsky invests in this. And then it goes round again. That's Sean Warney's tactic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for me, you don't have to. You don't. You could change.
Do you think
Could.
he's ever been asked to by the senior source to put out a certain thing in a certain way to create a certain
Well, yeah, but
pressure
I
in
don't know. I don't think they've ever asked him to sensationalise. I'd imagine
No.
that there's information that sometimes they've said, you know, rather than the lies a certain newspaper may be telling, why don't you give out this information of what wages a certain player may be earning? Perhaps they've asked you that, Sean.
Maybe.
So, but then you dress it up and it up. That's what I would say, as constructive criticism goes. And maybe, just maybe, more people may read it. We won't know because you won't do it, will you? You won't change. Could you change?
Oh, he's too old to change.
Oh,
Do you think you could change, Sean?
No.
Could we take the Hugh Southern out of you?
I don't know.
Is that possible?
Old dog, new tricks. I don't
Well.
know.
Yeah. It's always possible, isn't it? That's what
you
I
want
cling
to.
to, Sean. If
Okay.
you wanted.
Can
Devon.
you change, Nigel?
Can I change? Fucking
Yeah.
hell no.
I do realise that because he said we had like 6 questions and it's been about an hour.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeehaw! It'd be Devon Dukes of Hazzard Sr. from South Carolina. Or North Carolina. But anyway, howdy, gents, he starts. And he actually says that. I've no idea if you would know, but there was a merch bump during the last Ted Lasso season. Looking forward to the season, not paying too much attention to summer ball and whatnot. Should I? No, Dev. Totally ignore it.
I don't
wouldn't bother.
understand a fucking word of that.
No, me
No.
neither. I'm glad I'm not alone.
There you go. Basically, I think like during Ted Lasso, West Ham sold a lot of merchandise, I'm guessing.
Yeah, they did.
He's looking forward to the season coming, but he's not paying much attention to the likes of what Sean writes.
Right.
I thought did he say summer ball?
Yeah, well, I think
Does
that's
he
what he
mean call
means.
that? Does he not intimate that that's pre-season? Some
Well,
football.
perhaps.
Dunno.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
okay.
have to
I
forgive
thought
our
it was like
American
some kind
cousins
of
a foible.
some
No,
kind of
no.
event I missed out on.
No, he's talking his Carolina lingo, and we've just got to try and learn it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, don't pay much attention to it, Dev,
No.
basically. I mean, I saw something, an American, digging out Megan Rapinoe or whatever when she missed a penalty. But he didn't actually call it a penalty. So he was slating her off for missing her free kick.
Oh, even better, really.
And I looked at it and I'm thinking, and I clicked on it, and this bloke was an American journalist. And
Did
you
he
think-
not like her?
No, he didn't. It was probably pro-Trump, to be fair.
Well,
But you
I
know,
don't think you have to be pro-Trump to dislike that girl.
maybe she's easy to dislike.
Yeah.
I just think, though,
Well, from what I saw on Twitter, she didn't look very popular.
no, she's not.
No.
Next up, it's Mr. Ian Gravitt. We had some rather fantastic. Has anyone who's been down had their photo done with the
No.
with the trophy?
Yeah,
yet?
whereas apart, I don't know anyone else except for Steph.
No, you've not had it done, Sean, yet.
I'm not. No.
No, I need to arrange it. I need to have it.
Really?
Got me
I'm
sights
really
held island, that,
I'm
really.
really surprised at that. You,
Why? Why did
It's-
you done with the FA Cup? Why would I not have
Yeah,
it done
it's
with
moved
it?
to Lakeside now, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
What, it's moved nearer
Right
to me?
down your road.
Yeah, it's moving, or is it this Saturday? This week, I think it moves to Lakeside.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to have a look
You
there.
know, to practice your hammers.
Because, yeah, fuck
Yeah.
off.
You
No
don't want to get
chance.
judged.
Dear, oh dear.
Oh,
Do you know what? Someone, I think it was Dan on Twitter, said that it needs its own Twitter. And I'm thinking he's right. I might have a bit of fun with that. 'Cause-
Judge my hammers. Rate my
Yeah.
hammers.
Yeah, you know, rate the Mockney Hammers or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and you just tell people, send me your pictures, and I'll do my best to slag you off. So it was funny because someone sent a picture of 2 chickens with their crossed legs, and I gave them 3 out of 10, basically. But you have to see the picture to see the joke. Anyway, evening, gents, says Ian.
evening.
Hope you will. He's a bit annoyed with the fact that window isn't going according to plan. Well,
Has it ever?
that presupposes there's a plan, doesn't it? It says anyway. But it's the usual plan under the midget. It's to throw bids about like confetti till one sticks. Nothing new. Thought Newman was starting a network in South America. But why are the likes of Palace snapping up youngsters from Brazil? But Moyes don't know his arse from his elbow. But apparently his philosophy is due diligence. So why are we signing of never-beens from Man United? Oh, that's a bit arsey. Always knew that Moyes would spunk the money up the wall. Wouldn't trust him with 20 quid. Why on earth would we be trying to sign Solanke? Is that right?
I don't think we are. This is it. If you listen to enough, you'll hear players like this, Solanke. But
Yeah, I don't. I don't bother chasing these reports unless I get some information that says, yeah, that's happening. And 90% of the reports out there just aren't on the radar.
Did you do a story about players not signing their contracts?
No.
Oh, right.
That was an X, not a story, actually.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
What, he told you?
Who?
X.
No. X is what Twitter is now.
Oh, just call it Twitter, for Christ's sakes.
It's X.
I can't believe you went and changed your bleeding, put an X.
But
Ooh,
I X
Elon,
now.
look
I
at
don't
me.
tweet. It's not
Elon,
retweet.
look
It's
at me.
repost.
Look, Elon. Look at me, big fan. Anyway, old Artur has popped up. Paul Celebsuets. Hi, fellas. Hope you're all good. Yeah, we are. Blah, blah, blah. If you had the choice of change the manager, but buy no players till January, or keep Moyes, he stays for his contract and gets to sign 4 players in the window, what would you do? Go on, Joe.
change the manager.
No, I knew that was coming. All right, perhaps I should have gone John first then.
Change the manager.
Oh, fuck. What would you do, Sean?
Change the manager.
Oh. Would you really?
It'd revitalise the club.
Yeah, I've come to that same realization.
Yeah. I would. It's a tough one. I'd depend
Change the
on who
manager.
signs. Yeah. I just think there is no long term. I can't
No,
see
there isn't.
Moyes
It's
managing next season.
No,
I only
no.
see him this season.
No,
so
no.
there's
That's
a bit
what's
of me-
depressing, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
What
whole-
is
the
the
whole-
He
point
can bring
then?
it round.
Yeah, the whole thing
Yeah.
of the short-termism is
Yeah.
pointless, and it's to the
Yeah.
detriment of the whole club, and it
Yeah, of course.
comes down to the old poison dwarf for the old Paul
Yeah.
seller.
That's who I hold ultimately
He is,
responsible.
Of course, yeah.
It all stops there. The whole thing stops there.
I mean, in reality, how can you hire a technical director when you've supposedly wrote into a contract to the manager he's their sole responsibility of
Maybe,
transfers?
do you know what, Nigel? Maybe Sullivan didn't think we were going to win the cup.
There
Really?
is a good, well, a lot of us. Well, yeah, it was one of them, but yeah. It is mad though when you think about it. How
Yeah.
can we
I was
go
just-
from that moment in June to
Yeah.
this? If ever a club was set up, win a European trophy, playing in Europe, they've witnessed 200,000 fans on the streets of East London.
Yeah,
What better advert for the football club than that?
yeah.
And
Lucky
mum-
we didn't have. We didn't have to play
Yeah.
anyone as good as us, though, wasn't it?
And my mate who sold the flares out the shop at Green Gate, he was over the moon. Over the
I bet.
moon. He sold out that day double quick, he said. So if you're a football fan and you want your flares, pop along to the fireworks shop at the Green Gate, opposite the cafe. As you walk up from where the Green Gate pub used to be, it's on the left, walking up towards the old Upton Park. Pop in there. You can even tell him Nigel the locksmith said to say hello, and he'll sort you out some cheap old flares.
More Than Just a Podcast does not condone the letting off of flares in public areas, which is against the law.
What are you eating, Sean?
I didn't say let him off, did I? Yeah.
And you, in between writing new articles for 6'2", which is just
Yeah.
loaded.
and pushing foie gras down your throat or whatever you're fucking eating.
Bit of venison.
What you eating, Sean?
Cheese?
Sean?
Oh, sorry, I forgot I was on mute. I'm talking away. I'm eating a chicken curry.
Nice.
Chicken curry.
Any curry in particular, or?
It's a sort of mindful chef, so it's got coriander and chili and chicken and some sort of brown rice. And
It's quite late to be eating a meal like that.
well, I'm not
after-
eating at all. And I thought this was going to be a quick one.
You know, if you're going to lose weight, Sean, you shouldn't eat after 6:30 at night.
Well, we shouldn't start at 8 o'clock, really.
Well, eat before that.
That's
No, the
got-
idea,
I like
Sean,
to
is
go out to being
That's
clean.
got to depend on what time you go to bed, surely.
well, it's all to do with your body metabolism, innit? So you should have a big breakfast of a morning, an okay like lunch, but then you should basically just have a sandwich for an evening meal, and that's the best way to do it. There you go, people. Obviously, I don't follow my own advice by the looks of
No.
it, but that would help you out.
Yeah, pie mash at breakfast.
Yeah. Yeah. Burger and chips for lunch. Martin Rose says, awful pre-season result-wise behind the scenes. Well, we beat Spurs and we beat Perth. Wasn't that awful, Mark, was it?
It was performance-wise. It was looking for new things and feeling confident. And actually, I think, as a manager, Moyes is a manager who likes pride, to take pride in doing everything, right, being responsible for everything, but he doesn't ever seem responsible for lifting the spirits of the fans and what's going on around the club. He just thinks that he
We should
abandons
be
that.
grateful.
Yeah,
I think
there
do you
is
know
actually.
what? I do think though, and this is the thing that Moyes perhaps realises he hasn't got a connectivity with the fan base.
I think he's suffering still from Man United. I think that affected him, to be honest.
You missed last week or the week before.
Did I?
No, Len.
No, I did.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
When his interview said, and I'm sure you saw it, he had to remind us that no other West Ham manager had
Was
got into
qualified
Europe 3
Europe
years
3.
running.
Yeah, I
And
think
he'd
we're going
won
to get a lot of this.
trophy, and he loves to throw it back in our face.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to get away with that a lot,
I
actually.
don't blame him for doing it though, because he's not wrong though, is he? I get
Yeah,
it.
but
you don't want to
that's-
keep hearing it. You know, every time you think, "Fuck me, mate, you've done something wrong there," and he goes, "Yeah, I might have done something wrong, but hey, I got you into Europe 3 years running." And I think some of the abuse hurled at him is uncalled for, and that's why I end up seeming like defending him. It's not that I think his tactics are fantastic, whatever. I just think the abuse is just bang out of order.
I think he's a very lucky manager.
Oh,
think-
I don't know.
I think there's not many managers around that would have gone on the losing streak he went on last season and still. been in
Yeah, I
charge
know.
of the
Winning
Premier League.
12 out of 13 games in Europe and not losing the other one, John.
No, I'm talking about
Yeah.
the Premier League, Nigel.
Oh,
you know
sorry.
what we're talking about.
Sorry.
What did
Not
he
the
lose?
Farmers fucking league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did he
Oh,
lose?
here we go. And that's another thing that annoys me.
Well, it is,
People
isn't it?
call We weren't a Farmers League, was it?
What did he lose in a row? He was something like 15 games in a row or
No,
something.
no, he didn't lose 15 games in a row. He lost 5 in a row at one point. We lost 20. And this is the thing where I go, well, you know, he did give us, you know, points-wise, best Premier League tally, goal-scoring-wise, best Premier League, goal different-wise, best Premier League tally, not best position, but still.
But then
Can't have
again,
everything.
that's why I
Second
say
best
that's
position.
where the luck kicks in. You know, and he went and got a Lingard, who was
Well,
outstanding.
You say luck. Lingard was only there for half a season when we was already sitting high in the table when we signed him.
Yeah, but he didn't half push us on, didn't he?
You know, it's
He-
like those that call, you know, Billich's first season the payette year. You know, it's sort of what we're good at West Ham is actually when the manager comes in and does something well, we find a reason to knock it, and it's normally it's down to the player, not to the manager.
Yeah, but
when we lose, it's the manager's fault.
I
But
didn't
when
want
we're really good,
Moyes.
it's the best player.
I didn't want Moyes at the beginning. He is, in my eyes, he is an Allardyce Mark II. and I didn't want him there. He isn't a West Ham style of manager, and I accepted all his achievements, and I was obviously happy, and we were all pleased what he'd done. But that sort of 18-month period where he was just awful continuously. It's
No,
just
but
like,
I cling to the other 18 months.
yeah, I understand that, but as someone who wants to go to football to be entertained and watch, and that's a big part of being a West Ham fan, I find it so.
You are in band 5
tedious.
this year, John, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, right.
I am.
So that does nullify a lot of the pain because you think, well, fucking hell.
Well, yeah, it's only whatever it is.
I know. Fucking, you know,
I'm really
I'm not like
looking
them
forward
mugs down there in band 3 that have paid like 40 quid a game.
I'm really looking forward to see what Pochettino does with his Chelsea team.
I've finished the dinner now.
God.
Do you know what? If he'd have retired or thrown in the towel after and said, look, I want to go out on a high.
Yeah.
I've just won the
He just should have done. He would have been a
European.
legend
Cool, so
forever.
He would have been a West Ham legend
Yeah.
Yeah.
of going out on a high. And now he's going to wither away and he won't be remembered next summer. I do think he's leaving in the summer. In the way he would have been remembered if he'd have gone, do you know what? I've had a great time. By mutual consent, I'm having a little break from football. I'm making way for a new person. You know, we'd have all gone, bloody well done. And we'd be writing about David Moyes and what he achieved that summer for a long time.
Yeah.
But now he's going to wither and die.
But I think he had an out as well, didn't he? He had the
footballers.
Celtic issue flying about.
Yeah. Well, or you know what? He's got enough money. Remember, his wife still
Footballers,
lives
mate.
wherever she lives up north, you know, and he lives in Stratford. He could spend some time with his family. He's 60, for Christ's sake.
Footballers. That's what they're like. Egos and fucking no fucking brains. Cunts can't even wear shoes with fucking a dinner jacket.
Yeah, what's that about? Do you know what?
Fucking hell.
They should. I'm sorry. If I was a manager of West Ham,
Could you
I'd have
imagine
gone,
fucking
"Oi."
Ferguson standing for that?
I'd have gone, oi, you two. If you're not going to change your shoes,
Yeah. We
you can
go down
fuck
to
off.
fucking lost property and get you some fucking
Yeah.
shoes out.
Lost properties back in
Like the school
in the
days.
1980s.
Yeah. Do you think fucking the Ferguson and Keane would have gone fucking... Keane would have turned up
Well,
in a pair of
Clough.
fucking... pair of trainers with fucking dinner jacket.
Who are we talking about here? I didn't see it.
Pep-
Half of the
Four nails.
fucking team.
Miguel Antonio.
Antonio wore a fucking cap and fucking glasses, if you don't mind as well. You
And
can fucking
who-
go for that.
There was another one in white. There was Farnell's definitely. Was,
The cat
in white
kicker.
trainers.
You know, he
Yeah.
needs some sort of flexibility around the fucking with his kicking animals all night. Oh, don't start me on that.
Well, yeah, I don't. I mean, not that I just love it the way people naturally think that I would go. You know, one.
What, to a fucking dinner like that?
Yeah, and two.
They think that you go.
yeah,
fucking
they
hell.
Why would I wouldn't be seen dead at anywhere like
Yeah.
that.
I've got fucking more time for bin men than I have fucking footballers. I'm fucking... Fuck 'em.
That's good to know. My mate's just become a bin man.
Oh, he's
Sorry,
more than welcome to come round, mate.
Yeah, there you go. Johnny Pope hasn't got a question. He just wanted to say it's wonderful to have us back. And wonderful to hear from you, Johnny.
Yeah, damn
Sorry,
fucking
Pete.
right. Think more you than I do footballers, Johnny.
Yeah. Duncan Boys said, is there anyone like Lanzini? And did he really make us happy? Everybody out. That was a song, I think, from
Very
Dunk.
good.
Well, we
And-
didn't
and
mention
Jamie, Mark.
Lanzini, did we? Going back to...
He had a good spell, didn't he?
No, but we did always say he was going to go
He
back.
went back to River Plate. He's probably taken a big hit. I know it's only 12 months, but well done. Well done.
Yeah, but he's following his heart.
Yeah, well
Backroom
done.
staff. Is there any chance we actually get some, says Jamie Mark?
No one wants to... I mean, the rumours are, unsubstantiated, that they don't want to work for Moyes. Like,
Nah.
what's his name said before? What was it? Warburton. And so has Stuart Pearce, and I think Kevin Nolan has sort of admitted this. It's Moyes' way or the highway.
Yeah.
He doesn't entertain new ideas. And
He's a wank of pace at this,
hang
what
on,
I said.
hang on. Let me just be fair. He's in charge. He makes it really clear he's in charge, and you're there to support him. And if you dare challenge him, you'll get an earful. Is what, and a
Yeah,
lot of coaches
that's a
don't want to
wanker.
work. A lot of coaches don't want to work under those conditions. I hear.
This is it. This is why it's got to change, isn't it? It's done. Moisey, why don't you just fucking walk away when you won something? You can't win. You can't. You should think it out. You can't win.
I think, by the way,
I'm not sure what Warburton, to be fair to him, apart from extra large crumpet, what he brought to West Ham. And the other
Was
one,
he allowed to bring anything? That's what he's
Paul
saying, I
Nevin.
think.
Paul Nevin, I'm not sure. You know, he's still got Billy McKinley there. He's still got Nolan there. How many coaches do we need? I thought we had too many coaches anyway, to be honest. You know, he wants to be an old school manager. Well, fucking manage like Cloughy.
It'd be easier when they get rid of him. It'd be cheap, wouldn't it?
So, you know, and perhaps if we know he's only going to be there a year, why bring in new people? Just let him see it out. You know, for Moyes' sake, I hope we're not in the bottom three as the season progresses, because then he will, you know, they will definitely pull the trigger. And anyway, I hope he gets to see the season out, and then, you know, off he goes. But of course, if he puts a spanner in the works and finishes in the top 8, I think they'll give him a new contract. But that, frankly, people, it's Dodsy's popped up.
Oh, fucking hell. We have to
ignore
put...
it.
He's popped up now. I'll tell you what, I'm going to read it out. It's possibly the shortest Dodsy post ever. And he said, has Len had the best summer ever? No distractions
No, I
from WhatsApp.
fucking haven't.
He's put with no distractions
Fucking
from WhatsApp or Twitter, asking for a friend.
Oh,
There you go.
because he got kicked off the Twitter group. I fucking wanted to... I didn't even fucking like the Twitter group. WhatsApp group.
I know that. I know.
Yeah.
Wankers. More fucking... Sean licking more arseholes to the fucking elite. That's the last thing I want to see.
See, I've done you a favour, haven't I? I've done you a favour.
You done me a fucking favour.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
So
As long as you talk to me, Sean, I don't give a
I
fucking
always
shit. You know that.
You know
I know you do.
I always give you a ring
You
and
phone,
go,
you talk to me.
I ring you up and say, how are you?
Yeah,
You know?
and I say, fucking miserable.
Yeah, I know you do.
No, that's all right.
Well, all right, coming in predictions, and we can all wrap this beauty up.
Right. Predictions. So we're going to do season predictions, and then we'll have to get George to do his when he pops in.
Yeah.
Who's going first? Me?
Yeah, go on.
I'll go 12th. The knockout stages of UEFA Cup. And I'm not even going to call it Europa League.
FA Cup, League Cup, anything?
Oh, okay, yeah. No, absolutely not. I don't even consider that anymore. Doesn't even enter my mind.
Yeah. Well, I'll say we're going to finish 14th. Won't make the group stages of the Europa. Does that drop us down?
He does.
Well,
Not
it
if we
depends
make the
only if we
groups.
finish third.
Right.
You don't think we're going to make knockouts?
No.
So what did you say, Len? 12th and what?
12th and knockouts of the UEFA.
14th, not knockouts. Quarter-final of the League Cup. And knocked out early in the FA Cup.
So John is 14th.
Yeah. Not getting out of the group in the Europa.
Not out the group.
Quarter-finals of the League Cup. And,
Quarter-finals of the League Cup.
yeah. And
What else?
And won't make it into the 5th round of the FA Cup.
So I'll put you down for 4th round FA Cup.
Yeah.
Sean?
16th in the league.
16th.
16th, avoiding relegation because there's 4 worse clubs than us.
16th, yeah.
All right. knocked out first round of League Cup.
Well, it's what? So not at the group stage.
Of the League Cup.
Oh.
Not Europa League.
So
of the...
second round League Cup.
Yeah.
No, third round because we're in Europe.
Round.
So third round League Cup.
FA Cup fourth round. Out. We've finished third in the group stages of Europa League.
UEFA League, UEFA Cup.
Yeah, and we will go on to win the Europa Conference League for the second year running and get back into Europe that way.
UEFA Cup third group.
And then go on to win the final
Win
again
Conference League.
in Dublin. Is it in Dublin?
No, that's the UEFA final in Dublin.
Right.
I can't see us getting third in the group. I think
The
we go
Europa
through.
one's probably in Kingstonians or somewhere like that.
We could do that. I'd love that. I'll be happy with that, you know. Finish 16th and winning a European title again. I'll be happy.
All right, so I'm actually going to go for... I think we can finish
Second?
12th. No.
Second.
I don't think he will get top 10. So what I'll go for... Do I have to pick a different position?
No.
No, you can pick 12.
No, so...
But your predictions will make us top 4 when you take them right in because we never lose when you generally predict us to win.
Yeah, well, anyway... I think that we'll finish 12th in the table.
So do I.
Yeah. I think we'll get to the last 16 UEFA Cup.
So do I.
I think we'll get knocked out in the third round of the League Cup, and I'll get a semi-final in the FA Cup.
That'd be good, wouldn't it? That would be
Day
a good,
out, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be a fucking good day. Not happening.
There you go.
That's it, isn't it? Oh, that one thing is, Len, you didn't put anything for the FA Cup?
No, I didn't. I
Or
would
League
say fourth round, fifth round, maybe. Depends on the draw, doesn't it? Really.
I'll put you fourth for the League Cup, fifth for the FA Cup.
All right then.
That'll do.
Yeah. I don't
John's saying, yeah, all right. Do you want to do one tonight? Yeah, do a quick one.
Yeah. Well, that's been quick, isn't it?
Well,
Hour
that's
and
been
a half?
quick, hour and 45.
102 minutes.
Well, that's hour and a half. Last time I looked.
I'm making hour 40, but we're splitting hairs.
Yeah, you go.
Because it is
That's
our 490.
Same thing.
In 10 episodes' time, it'll be our 500.
Ooh, I'll have to try and make that one. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to try and make it a bit special.
We should
What will it be?
We should do a giveaway or something.
500 podcasts.
We give Sean away.
There you go.
Yeah, we want to encourage people. We don't want to put them
We
off.
could do a one-to-one interview where Sean interviews one of our podcast listeners.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I've been Sean. John has been.
Yeah, counting the time.
Nigel has been.
Happy.
And
Fucking hell, is that happy?
Len has been.
Glad to be
not
back.
quite as
isn't it?
happy as Nigel.
Glad
Yeah,
to be back.
pleased
though,
to be
mate.
back. Yeah, pleased to be
Come
back. Yeah.
On You Wyans, award-winning Spotify podcast.
Award-winning.
Not award-winning. We're the most popular.
Fans'
Bobby
favourite.
More than just a podcast.
I can't be wrong.
Bobby more than just a podcast.
1 billion listeners.